Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm cast, this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 vs 1 on Battle Marshes. Over the north side of the map, playing as a sister battle, we've got Gedeon huesos. And on the south side of the map, playing as the Eldar, we have got SOVA. SOVA's going to go for 1, 2, 3, 4 Guardian squads, Burnsinger, Fleet of Foot Research, and, by the looks of things, double plasma generators. Whereas the sisters are going to go for triple missionaries, a pristine sanctuary, and a adoptus sororitas convent. So a very standard opening for the sisters, but can't really be said the same for the Eldar. In fact, actually even swapping out the Fleet of Foot and going to go for some plasma grenades. I imagine this is because usually sisters will open with the the Seraphins when they're up against the Eldar. So I wonder, yeah, because I mean Fleet of Foot increases the Eldar speed, obviously, but Seraphins are still quite fast, and they can fire on the move quite accurately. Plasma grenades will knock them on their backside. So, but yeah, you would normally see them go for Dark Reapers, but then again, Dark Reapers will be tied up in close combat by Seraphins. So, yeah, okay, we'll see how this this opening goes for the Eldar. Just capturing their bits and bobs around the base. Missionary going to have a look and see what he can see over on this side of the map.
I have made it.
First squad of Seraphins finishing, and they're going to instantly jump over onto this side of the map. Going to fly around over yonder. Double Burnsingers will be building up this listening shrine as quickly as they can. Seraphins will try and slice away at the Burnsingers, but obviously these guys are quite defensive in the sense that they could just teleport away. And that'll be going up against two individual Guardian squads. Going to be stabbed in the backside. I imagine as the plasma grenades are nearly finished. So once they're done, they'll do a good chunk of damage. There we go. Also knocking them on the backside, so preventing them from being as mobile as they would like to. Second grenade going to go down, taking out a couple of models. While these Guardians don't do amazing damage at range, these sisters don't exactly have the most health, so that's alright from their perspective. Going to run down to the very southern tip of the map, on the very cliffs of Dover. Guardians over here chasing away this missionary. They didn't quite manage to capture that relic, but will decide to turn around and go for it as these Seraphins decide to contest this position with these Guardians. Guardians do throw a cheeky plasma grenade, but will be caught as these Seraphins move over onto this side. But are they gonna? Oh yeah, they're gonna stop and start firing at these guys. But Listening Shrine has been upgraded, which will make it quite difficult for the Seraphins to engage in any form of prolonged firefight. Listening Shrine over here trying to be built up by these Burnsingers. Another Listening Shrine over here and here as well. This is going to get upgraded to a War Shrine as well. In fact, actually, if we look at, I mean, currently 62 and 0 compared to 68 and 20. So plenty of green money to play with. Now, with the sisters having no plasma generators at the moment, every single time they re-recruit a Seraphim, that's 5 green money to be spent on them. So they can't play this game forever. Lots of melee shenanigans going to go on. That's Guardian and Seraphim alike fall. More grenades popping off. These guys are going to jump over the ridge. Going to double jump straight into the relic over yonder. Missionary still being denied this relic, which is quite nice from the Eldar perspective. And yeah, we're going to see this Listening Shrine being upgraded. In fact, actually, all the Listening posts seem to have been upgraded, so this will be quite a difficult thing for the Seraphins to engage with at all. We'll now finally see that Fleet of Foot being researched. And from the sisters' perspective, they're going to go for their first plasma generator of the game, not upgrading. Oh, sorry, their second plasma generator of the game, shall I say, but not going for any upgrades on their Listening post, so their economy will suffer in the later stages of this game as the Guardians move out, and they will probably decide to go for these critical locations and maybe even once again deny this relic from this missionary. Got double Guardians going over onto this side, scaring away this missionary who's almost deaded. It will survive with a sliver of health, and this critical location and Listening post over yonder does look a little bit vulnerable. Yeah, a very unusual opening. Finally, we'll see an aspect portal. Going to go for some rangers and a tier 2 in the form of a soul shrine. Seraphins still hungry for a little bit of
we are under enemy fire.
Combat engagement. I mean, really, realistically, the only thing that I can actually go for at the moment is these plasma generators in the middle. But once the fleet of foot goes for the Guardians, they will be able to quickly run back and defend their base. Sisters decide to not go for that. We'll try and defend this critical location. Guardian does seem to have managed to kill the... whatever you call him, the... oh Christ, what's he called? The missionary, there we go, the missionary. Missionary throwing down some healing hands on himself. And will tank a lot of shurikens across the old frame. If anything, just drive these guys back while double Seraphins take care of these guys as quickly as they like. Although even though they lose a couple of models, they are quick to escape, and only 30 blue money to restore. Not huge amounts of investments considering that they've got Knights 2 in the form of income at the moment. Ranger squad firing away, going to reduce their morale. Pristine Sanctuary being rebuilt, Inferno pistol on the way. So a third squad of Seraphins, to be fair. And once they get there, yeah, okay, fair enough. So Seraphim Veteran Superior, once this tier 2 pops, put a bunch of Inferno pistols on them, will drastically increase their building bashing potential. And with the spread out nature of these listening shrines, I imagine that the centre of the Eldar base is quite a vulnerable thing for them to go for. Even with the laying of hands, this missionary will go down. Seraphins are going to go for the Seraphim Veteran Superior. Fresh squad of Seraphins as well over on this side of the map. Going to go for their Angelic Visage as well, which will drastically increase the amount of DPS that they do. These Guardians probably want to get out of there. 2 squads of Guardians versus 3 fully fledged squads of Seraphins are no match for them. Especially for those Inferno pistols. Look, there we go. Completely different change of pace for this engagement here. Guardians on this side, on the Never Eat Shredded Wheat on the western side of the map, will decide to come over.
How can we help?
These Rangers also not looking all that pretty. Bearing in mind though that this ability is a very limited amount of time, but can be activated several times, considering that the Angelic Visage increases the DPS of everyone around them. Harlequin jumping out, going to at least prevent these ladies from firing just for a little bit. Warp Spiders will be summoned soon. So the ideal counter to Seraphins. Good against heavy infantry. Guys going to jump into the webway gate. Harlequin being deadly. But yeah, these Seraphins are being quite a lethal trio, I do have to say. Guardians won't really be able to do much against them at the moment. Another Harlequin is coming out to play. Rangers came out a little bit in the wrong direction. And the one major problem with Eldar when they need desperately to get their units online, especially when they've just teched up. I mean, they've got to get those aspect stones online, which does delay their ability to get their crucial units online. Kind of like the Imperial Guard when they need to get vehicles that aren't Chimeras on, which is only a very small thing, to be honest. But in these touch and go situations where every second counts, it does make all the difference. More grenades coming out, but these Seraphins just aren't giving up, just kind of ignoring the Guardians and focusing on the economy of the Eldar, taking out that webway. Warp Spiders will come out, but one squad of Warp Spiders with only 4 members at the moment need to build up their numbers first. Going to see a support platform as well, as the Seraphins just absolutely annihilate anything and everything within sight. Last of the Guardians go down, and the Seraphins decide to... oh, they're going to now focus on this listening shrine over yonder. More Warp Spiders. Oh, these same Warp Spiders just teleported down south. Another Harlequin as well. Are they going to build up anything on the back of this? Nothing at the moment. They're just counting on this to be final assault, really. Some power swords on the Seraphins in case they are tied up in close combat. Burnsingers taken down en masse. Now this Eldar player is singing a bit of a different tune. Was quite confident at the beginning of the game with their Guardians, but now with these Seraphins splitting up and doing all sorts of damage. But you don't want to be splitting these guys up, I don't think. I think you want to be keeping all these guys together, ensuring that their numbers are fully good. 68 and 30 compared to 85 and 20. So doing some serious economic damage there. And still more damage to be done. Morale has been broken on this side. But yeah, you want to keep these guys together. You don't want them to split up one at a time, as these warp spiders will be able to take them on 1v1, especially when supported by rangers. But yeah, these girls lowering in health and numbers will fall back. May as well, there we go, get one burn singer on the way out just for good measure, and then starting to fall back. Oh, yeah, that was a serious amount of damage. Not quite getting as many plasma generators as I would have liked, but getting a webway gate, one plasma generator, and a couple of listening shrines, that is nothing to tell you no about. Even decapping that, which is quite tasty. Warp Spider now chasing after him. Sisters were trying to go for that critical location, but the Warp Spiders will have none of it. And now it's all about what will these sisters decide to transition to. They have got a huge blue money advantage. Yeah, 30 plus in the blue money department. But what will they go for? I imagine, realistically, it's probably going to be Celestians. But, I mean, I'm not so sure that Celestians would be the way forward, as these Warp Spiders will be able to cane their backsides in. So I assume, I mean, although again, even if they go vehicles, those Warp Spiders, if he decides to commit to more than one squad of Warp Spiders, will be able to get them with their Hex weaponry, or Hex grenades, sorry. They will also be able to transition into dragons pretty quickly. So I mean, maybe it's just a case of layering your Seraphins, get a couple of Celestians, and maybe get the artillery blooming whatever you call them, that tank with the organ on the back.
Praised be the Emperor,
just to keep those dragons and Warp Spiders knocked around, not firing. After all, I mean, what would you call it? God, I can never remember any of the names of anything for the sisters. The Inferno tank, the one with the flamers on it. That one's going to get quite close to do its damage, so any dragons will be able to take it out quite nicely and quite easily. I'm going to go for Holy Reliquary. Seeing some Celestians, so maybe we're just going to see some super upgraded Celestians and Seraphins, maybe even a Confessor as well, which isn't a terrible shout. After all, realistically, the only commander sniping unit that the Eldar really have are the Farseer with her Mind War. Going to see double Warp Spiders jumping in. More Angelic Visage. As the Harlequin goes for it, Warp Spiders are going to do what they can. And these Warp Spiders over here are going to be taken down to quite a short number. But more Warp Spiders jumping in. Yeah, triple Warp Spiders versus triple Seraphins. It's all going to be about the micro here. I'm going to get their Martyr's Gift research. Every time one of them die, they will get a little faith increase. Although it looks like they've only got one faith icon on, so maximum 20 faith at the moment. Yeah, these Seraphins going toe-to-toe with the Warp Spiders aren't going to win any engagements. They do need to keep on the move until at least these Celestians get online and start doing some stuff. Warp Spiders on the chase, not giving up on them. Listening Shrine will be built at once again, 125 and 50 compared to 92 and 30. So the Eldar is slowly but surely increasing, or should I say decreasing, that deficit in economy. Warp Spiders not quite pressing their advantage here. Bonusing are going to go down, but it does manage to get that Listening Shrine up and running. War Shrine add-on going to be researched. Dragons, or should I say Fire Dragons, now online. Support portal not being used, but then again, that's because they have had to build up their Warp Spider numbers to maximum. We'll see a Confessor, more Celestians, and also going to see some Blessed Ammunition. Will generally increase the overall damage and whatnot, which isn't a terrible thing. Let's see a Plasma Generator, just been touched around on the side here. Going to see Celestians, Seraphins doing a double jump. That's going to help support these This is against the warp spiders. These warp spiders over here getting that decap on the critical location. More undulate visage going on as a fair squad of warp spiders jump in. Confessor going to move around. He does provide a general aura around him. Increase the general combat effectiveness of the ladies near him. Also got his general smiting ability that does a bit of damage to anyone stricken. Not sure if he has to research it first though. For the life of me, I can't remember it off the top of my head. Range has been almost forgotten here. Reducing the overall morale. And to be fair, the Celestians in this heavy cover is actually doing a fairly decent job at staying alive here. Warspiders moving into close combat. Celestians do have a slight advantage in close combat. PPS wise, I mean. Confessor with his Inferno pistol just firing, focus firing on this Harlequin, so to speak. Confessor also being focus fired by these warp spiders there. And yeah, with the addition of the Celestians, the addition of this heavy cover, they're actually doing a fairly decent job. As all 3 warp spiders, oh no, yeah, all 3 of them are still online. Fire Draggers destroying this listing post. This one has been upgraded with has it been upgraded with the shrine? Or do the shrine ones glitter? Oh no, sorry, the shrine ones glitter. So they've still got their 5th income coming in. Here's the Arcal Servitors taking a bit of a smattering of warp spider fire. Are going to see some more plasma generators, more Harlequins on the way. Nothing too crazy. A minefield down here in case of any more Celestian shenanigans, Seraphin shenanigans. We had 2 squads of Celestians. What else are you going to go for? Do you have much in the way of money at the moment? We've got a good amount of green money. Also going to go for a Holy Edict research for the Confessor. So what's the general overall plan at the moment? Celestians, sorry, Seraphins will move over this way. Probably going to pester these guys. I imagine the Sisters are at a bit of a disadvantage at the moment, considering that the Eldar have got the superior fighting force, in my honest opinion. So they might want to just keep on moving from the south side to the north side and keep distracting this Eldar until they build up significant counters to the warp spiders. But realistically, I don't know if the Sisters have any decent counters against these warp spiders. Confessor on the way. Gonna go for tier 3. And their Commander Veteran upgrade. So a bit reliant on the heroes at the moment. I suppose one thing they could do is get some missionaries, stick them with these Celestians to increase their overall staying power. And then just go for like a base, like a hero focus build. Yeah, double Celestians. And with the superior movement of the warp spiders, are kind of caught off on their own without Seraphim support. We'll want to get out there as quickly as possible, or at least stand in this heavy cover. We'll stand their line there as the Seraphins go over onto this side. Over on the other side of the map, these Seraphins are chasing after these Fire Dragons who are charging into the base, probably going to do some economic damage of their own. Warp Spiders jumping back a little bit. Canoness throwing out the blinding light. But it doesn't really matter at the moment as these Warp Spiders are in close combat. These Warp Spiders over here, too far to be affected by that ability. So, slight bit of a waste there. Warp Spiders are going to fall back there. Their numbers are waxing and waning here. That's the double Inferno pistol, in fact, triple Inferno pistol play going on. Harlequin jumping around over here. Over here, the Seraphins are trying their best to keep these Fire Dragons at bay. Ranger Squad going to be engaging in long-range fire support, as the Fire Dragons do seem to be falling back ever so slightly. Might want to move out the way of that listing post fire. And over here, Confessor throws down a smite. Warp Spiders do a nifty jump out the way. Not sure if they're affected by that smite or not. Canoness being focus fired will be stricken down. And yeah, at the moment, he's focusing so much on his micro, he's not really spending all that much. Going to rebuild that Canoness. Going to build up a Exorcist. There we go, an Exorcist, that's what it's called. Warp Spiders over here trying to lay siege to this listening post. Seraphins just going to try and tie them up in close combat for as long as they can, hoping the listening post will provide them the long-range fire that they need, but the Warp Spiders will manage to wipe them out. But on this side of the map, they have managed to defend themselves. Fire Dragon's been reduced to 2 in their number. And yeah, there we go, long-range support from the Exorcist. Now, while the Warp Spiders will be able to jump over and do some serious damage to it, if they're able to keep it behind this, like, you know, the various terrain of this battlefield, maybe layer their firing line, they will be able to at least force the Warp Spiders into a less than advantageous position, moving them out of the heavy cover and whatnot. Be very careful. I'm going to go for some Psychoculum, however one pronounces that. Look at the spread of the Exorcist fire, which is good, so we'll be able to pester and bother all 3 Warp Spiders should it land a couple of lucky rockets. Wraithlord on the field now, which will be easily destroyed by these Celestians, although they only have 1 multi-melter, and they're going to go for the 1 because they want that extra heavy bolter online to deal with these Warp Spiders. But another Wraithlord coming in. Going to play a bit of football with the torsos of these sisters, being reduced to fairly low health very quickly. Rangers moving around healthily as you like. And yeah, these sisters have now backed themselves into a bit of a corner. No way out here. Baroness did do that blinding ability, but does not seem to have hit these Warp Spiders at all, which is double unlucky. Well, now see, I've got a Shrine of the Living Saint being built up. 110 and 48 compared to 140 and 58, so fairly decent economies for both players. But yeah, these sisters have got nowhere to hide, really. And Jesus Christ, this is not the most advantageous terrain to be trying to witnessing a battle here. One Celestial squad does manage to get out alive. Harlequin just jumping around, slicing and dicing every woman in sight. Seraphins moving on the side. Confessor does his general smite attack, knocking some of these Warp Spiders down. Angelic Visage going on the Seraphins, but maybe a little bit too little too late, as this Confessor doesn't look like he's about to be taken out by this Harlequin, who's just not letting up, not relenting in their assaults. Exorcist though managed to get some good hits on the Warp Spiders. Their numbers are being reduced to quite low. I think they've actually lost a squad, if I'm not mistaken. Got 1 squad there, 1 squad there. Oh no, and 1 squad here. But we'll teleport straight into danger. But yeah, I think running into there, well, there was nowhere to run. I mean, they'd have to escape from here and run down here, and like we just saw there, the Warp Spiders could just jump over there, giving them the double gauntlet to have to run. Fire Dragons now in fact, double Fire Dragons. Seeing this Exorcist will decide to chase after these guys. Living Saint there on the field might be able to turn the tide of this battle, but leaving the Exorcist to its fate. Going to try and hide behind these trees, but fleet of foot on. But the Exorcist with 1 health remaining. Oh dear, it's only been moved over to this side, letting out 1 more volley before passing out and dying. Living Saint now jumping out over here, good to go straight for the Webway Assembly. And now I suppose it's a base race, more Wraithlords on the way up. This is a significant amount of Eldar to deal with. Yeah, realistically, the Living Saints would slowly but surely be whittled down by these Warp Spiders, so I suppose it makes sense to at least send them over to attempt a base race of some description. Triple Harlequins is having a go, but Penitent Engine giving these guys a strike down, using that spinning blade of hers and lethal fire, send the Eldari packing. Yeah, there we go, Living Saint taking out the Webway Assembly. Might want to focus on these unit producing buildings. After all, when all the unit producing buildings die, that is when a player is forcibly kicked out of the game. No point focusing on the, I would want to say, the economic buildings at this point. Mind you, though, Warp Spider's been surrounded by these upgrade listening posts, are dying in number. One squad with only one member left. I've not got much in the way of blue money to reinforce at the moment, so this might actually be a sister win against all odds. Gravelord kicking in this Manufactorum, trying to prevent it from building up more penitent engines. The engine over here, taking out one Warp Spider at a time. Confessor being regained will tie up these Rangers. But yeah, this is quite the scrum. Sisters managing to take out the Aspect Portal. We'll also take out the Support Portal. I'm sure as well they've got to take out the Webway Portal as well, because that makes Shuriken Cannons, doesn't it? Or platforms, or whatever you call them. Unless they're building one somewhere else. We've got Burnsing over here, but they don't have the blue money to really build up anything substantial. So Paul goes down. It's the Living Saint going to go for this Webway Gate. My goodness, my gracious, from the jaws of defeat do the sisters, I assume, will snatch the victory. And there we go, yeah, they've managed it. Poor core, blimey, right down to the burn, that one. Oh, but, I mean, interesting opening from the Eldar. Wonderful play by both players. Just can't put it to words, that was a phenomenal match. Well done for both players. Cool, anyway, if you want to support the channel, £1 a month does get you one extra game a week on the old Patreon. My name's Mr. Landshark, pleasure as always, never a chore. I will see you in a bit. Peace.